Scorpio, the heavy, suffocating silence is finally breaking. They are reaching out, and the apology you have been starving for is no longer just a hope, it is arriving. But listen to me closely, because this is not just a simple "I'm sorry." They are about to confess the hidden truth about exactly why they pulled away, and what they reveal will completely shatter the painful narrative you have been forcing yourself to believe. The energy is shifting violently in their favor, but you need to be ready for the sheer weight of their regret. Before we unlock this profound shift, tell me in the comments where in the world you are watching from, or simply type "I am ready" if your soul has been aching for this exact moment. Do not let this pass you by, because the universe does not make mistakes, and the algorithm did not just randomly place this reading in front of your eyes. Your higher self, the deep, intuitive part of your spirit that knows the truth before your logical mind can even process it, actively pulled this message into your reality. You were guided here at the exact right moment, right at the precipice of September 2026, because the energetic cord between you and this specific person is vibrating at a frequency that can no longer be ignored. This is not a coincidence. This is a spiritual interception. You have been feeling it in your body for weeks now, haven't you? That sudden, unexplainable flutter in the center of your chest when you are just sitting in complete silence. It is that restless, buzzing energy that makes it impossible for you to stay still, a physical manifestation of their energy trying to bridge the gap between you. You have been waking up abruptly in the early hours of the morning, your mind instantly racing, checking your phone with a heavy heart, expecting a notification that hasn't come yet. But the tension you feel in your shoulders, that tight knot in your stomach, and this unusual, overwhelming emotional sensitivity you have been experiencing lately are not signs that you are losing your mind. They're the physical receipts that the energy is already moving. The universe is preparing your nervous system for the impact of what is about to arrive. I know how exhausting this waiting has been for you. I know the quiet moments where the confusion creeps in, making you question your own worth, wondering if you somehow pushed them away or if the connection was just an illusion. You have carried the heavy burden of this silence, analyzing every past interaction, replaying the final words spoken, and absorbing the disappointment of their absence. You have tried to logic your way out of the pain, telling yourself that if they wanted to, they would. But your spirit knows that sometimes people pull away not because they don't care, but because the intensity of the connection terrifies them. The physical symptoms you are experiencing are your body's way of keeping the energetic door open, holding the frequency of reconciliation even when your logical mind wants to close it to protect yourself. Your subconscious has been trying to tell you this, too. Have you noticed the vivid, almost cinematic dreams you have been having lately? Dreams where they are standing right in front of you, looking at you with an expression of profound sorrow and desperate longing. Or perhaps you have been experiencing sudden, unprovoked flashes of memory, smelling their specific scent out of nowhere, or hearing a song that instantly transports you back to the peak of your connection. These are not just random neurological firings. These are telepathic downloads. Their energy is reaching into your dreamscape, trying to communicate the depth of their regret because they have not yet found the courage to speak it into the waking world. You might also be seeing repeating numbers right when you think about them, or finding yourself thinking of them at the exact moment they are thinking of you. These synchronicities are the universe confirming that the energetic cord is not only intact, but it is being actively pulled taut. And let me tell you, their internal world right now is absolute chaos. This person is not moving on. They are not out living their best life while you sit in the waiting room of their absence. They are trapped in a profound state of emotional reckoning. Every time they try to distract themselves, the memory of you interrupts their thoughts. They are realizing, with a crushing weight of clarity, the magnitude of what they lost when they allowed pride, fear, or external circumstances to create this distance between you. They are standing at a massive turning point, holding on to a truth they have been too afraid to voice. But before I can tell you exactly what they are preparing to say, and the exact nature of the confession that is about to spill from their lips, you need to understand the context of their silence. If I just give you the ending right now, you will not fully grasp the magnitude of this shift. You need to understand the walls they built so you can truly appreciate the moment they finally tear them down. The message they are crafting for you is not just an apology, it is a complete unburdening of their soul. Before we step into the deepest layers of this revelation, I want to invite you to truly anchor yourself in this space. If this message is resonating with the deepest parts of your spirit, I invite you to subscribe to Trusted Tarot. This is not just about watching a video. It is about joining a community of souls who are actively choosing to trust their intuition and navigate their spiritual journeys together. By staying here, you are signaling to the universe that you are open to receiving the guidance you need. You are telling the cosmos that you are ready to transition from the pain of the past into the healing of the present. Settle your spirit into that commitment because you are safe here, you are seen here, and the shift in their energy is no longer a subtle ripple. It is a tidal wave heading straight for you. Let us speak directly to the silence you have endured because I know exactly how heavy it has been. You are a Scorpio, which means you do not love halfway, and you do not walk away from a profound connection without carrying the weight of it in your bones. You gave them space, believing that maturity meant allowing them the room to figure out their own heart. You maintained your dignity, even when every fiber of your being wanted to reach out and demand answers. You sat in the quiet, analyzing the fragments of what you had, wondering where the exact moment of fracture occurred. You convinced yourself that if the connection was real, it would survive the distance. But that space you so generously gave them did not bring them peace. It became a vacuum, and now that vacuum is collapsing in on them. While you were trying to heal, they were trying to convince themselves that they were fine. They told themselves that stepping back was the logical choice, that the intensity between you was too much to handle, or that the timing was simply wrong. They built a fortress of excuses, brick by brick, hoping that if they stayed behind those walls long enough, the pull toward you would eventually fade. But the universe does not allow sacred connections to be buried under the weight of cowardice. The distance did not bring them clarity. It brought them a haunting, inescapable void. Every attempt they made to distract themselves, every new environment they stepped into, every person they tried to engage with, only served to highlight the glaring absence of your energy. They are realizing, with a slow and crushing certainty, that they did not just walk away from a relationship, they walked away from their own mirror. The regret they are carrying right now is not a quiet, passive whisper. It is a deafening roar in their mind that wakes them up in the middle of the night. They are replaying the final moments you shared, but this time, the narrative has shifted. They are no longer focusing on the reasons they had to leave. They are fixated on the look in your eyes when they pulled away. They are remembering the absolute safety you provided, the way you saw through their masks and loved the shadowed parts of them that they usually keep hidden from the world. They took that rare, unconditional acceptance for granted, and now that it is gone, they are being forced to confront the cold reality of what life looks like without your light. They are realizing the profound difference between a fleeting, surface-level connection and a true soul tether. This is the psychological breaking point we have been waiting for. The ego, which has been driving their avoidance, has finally exhausted itself. It takes an immense amount of energy to suppress the truth, and they have run out of that energy. The walls they constructed are not being torn down by your anger or your demands. They are crumbling under the sheer weight of their own longing. They are looking at their life right now, and it feels hollow. The pride that once kept them silent now tastes like ash in their mouth. They understand that holding on to their pride is no longer protecting them, it is only prolonging their suffering. The internal monologue has shifted from "I need to stay away" to "How do I fix this before it is truly too late?" And this brings us to the exact energy of this moment, right here in September 2026. The shifting of the seasons is mirroring the shifting within their heart. Just as the external world is preparing for a transition, their internal world is undergoing a complete metamorphosis. They are no longer trying to fight the current. They are finally surrendering to the gravity of what you mean to them. But you must understand, this surrender is terrifying for them. Reaching out to you requires a level of vulnerability they have spent their entire lives avoiding. They are staring at their screen, typing out a message, deleting it, and typing it again. The hesitation you might be feeling on an energetic level right now is not them pulling away again. It is them gathering the courage to face the music. They are acutely aware that a simple hello will not be enough. They know they cannot just slide back into your life as if nothing happened. They are wrestling with the fear of your rejection, and rightfully so. They are asking themselves if they have damaged the trust between you beyond repair. They are wondering if your heart has already closed the door that they so carelessly left ajar. This fear is actually a beautiful sign because it proves they finally understand the value of what they are risking. They are not approaching this lightly. They are preparing to lay their cards on the table, to offer you the raw, unfiltered truth about their fears, their mistakes, and their desperate desire to make things right. The message is hovering at their fingertips. The words are forming in their mind, carrying the weight of an apology that is long overdue. They are preparing to confess that their silence was never about a lack of love for you. It was about their own inability to handle the magnitude of it. They are getting ready to admit that they were scared, that they felt unworthy, and that pushing you away was the greatest mistake of their life. The tension you feel in the air is the friction of their old self dying and their new, awakened self preparing to step forward. You have held the line. You have kept your energy clean, even when it felt like you were standing in the dark alone. And now, the dawn is breaking. But before they can deliver this confession, you must prepare your own heart to receive it without letting your past wounds dictate your reaction. The way you handle this incoming energy will set the tone for everything that follows. The moment of revelation is no longer a distant possibility. It is standing right at the threshold of your reality. The communication you have been waiting for is not going to be a casual check-in. It is not going to be a superficial emoji or a vague, non-committal message just to test the waters. This is going to be a profound, unfiltered outpouring of their truth. You are going to receive a message, likely a long, detailed text, or perhaps a voicemail they leave, because their heart is beating too fast and their hands are shaking too much to wait for you to answer the phone. And the very first words out of their mouth or onto the screen will be an admission of their deepest regret. They're going to look at you, energetically or literally, and say the exact words you have been starving to hear. I never meant to hurt you. I am so sorry. But Scorpio, you need to understand that this apology is not just about the surface-level actions that caused the rift. They are not just apologizing for the silence, or for the mixed signals, or for the sudden, unexplained withdrawal. They are confessing to the internal cowardice that drove those actions. They are going to admit that they ran because the sheer depth of what you offered terrified them. They are going to explain that they felt unworthy of the profound, soul-level intimacy you share, and instead of stepping up to meet you, they chose to self-sabotage. They are finally taking full accountability for the pain they caused, stripping away all the excuses, all the justifications, and all the pride that kept them hidden in the shadows for so long. When this message arrives, it is going to hit you like a physical wave. Your chest will tighten, your breath might catch in your throat, and for a split second, your mind will struggle to process that the person who caused you so much confusion is finally offering you the clarity you begged for. It is a moment of intense emotional validation. The universe is handing you the exact closure you have been praying for, wrapping it in the energy of reconciliation. But right here, in this exact moment of triumph, I need you to listen to me very carefully, because this is where the real spiritual work begins. Your instinct, and I know this because I know the fierce, protective, and fiercely loyal nature of your Scorpio energy, will be to put up a shield. When someone who hurt you finally comes crawling back with an apology, the ego wants to punish them. The ego wants to remind them of every single tear you shed, every sleepless night you endured, and every moment of doubt they put you through. Your trauma response will scream at you to reply with coldness, to act indifferent, or to withhold your forgiveness just to protect yourself from being vulnerable again. You will feel the intense urge to make them sweat, to make them wait, to ensure they feel even a fraction of the agony you experienced in their absence. But I am asking you to pause. I am asking you to take a step back from that defensive reflex. Do not let the old pain distort this new message. If you respond from a place of wounded reactivity, you will inadvertently push them back into the very fear that caused them to pull away in the first place. You must receive this apology clearly, not defensively. Read their words or listen to their voice without immediately formulating a guarded response. Let their vulnerability land in your space without you having to armor up against it. You do not need to be defensive because you are no longer the person who is left in the dark. You are the one holding the light now. Give yourself permission to feel the relief without immediately rushing to protect yourself from the next disappointment. You have spent so much time bracing for impact that you have forgotten how to just stand in the peace of resolution. When they offer you this truth, you do not have to forgive them instantly, and you do not have to let them right back into your life without establishing new, healthy boundaries. But you do need to receive their apology with grace. Acknowledge their courage. Validate their effort. Let them know that you hear them, that you see the massive shift in their energy, and that you appreciate the honesty they are finally bringing to the table. This is the delicate dance of divine timing. They have finally done the internal work required to speak their truth, and now you must do the internal work required to receive it without letting your past wounds hijack your future. The intensity of this moment is high, but it is a healing intensity, not a destructive one. It is the sacred fire that burns away the dead wood so that something new, authentic, and deeply rooted can grow. You are being asked to hold space for their redemption, just as you held space for your own healing during the long, quiet months of their absence. As you prepare to receive this confession, remember that your power does not come from making them suffer for their mistakes. Your power comes from your ability to remain centered, grounded, and open to the flow of divine correction. You are the alchemist in this dynamic. You have the unique ability to take their regret and transmute it into a foundation of absolute honesty. But you can only do that if you drop the sword and allow their apology to reach your heart. You might be wondering why this is happening now, in this specific window of September 2026. Why not sooner? Why did you have to endure those agonizing, seemingly endless months of silence? The truth is, the universe operates on a timeline of absolute perfection, not human impatience. This delay was never a punishment, nor was it a sign that you were forgotten or that the connection was a lie. It was a necessary period of energetic ripening. Just as a seed must sit in the dark, damp earth before it can break through the soil, their soul required this exact duration of isolation to dismantle the ego-driven defenses that kept them from you. Had they reached out sooner, they would have only brought you half-formed apologies and recycled fears. They would have pulled you back into the same chaotic cycle, only to retreat again the moment the intensity became too much to handle. The cosmos withheld them until their internal foundation was solid enough to hold the weight of your love. The silence you endured was the sound of their spiritual architecture being completely rebuilt. Every single day you waited was a day they were unknowingly being prepared to finally show up for you as the partner you always knew they could be. The timing is divine, the karmic debris has been cleared, and the window of opportunity is finally open. I know how deeply exhausting this journey has been for you. I see the nights you spent staring at the ceiling, your mind racing with a million different scenarios, trying to decode the silence and find a reason for the abandonment. I feel the heavy, aching disappointment that settled in your chest when another day passed without a word from them, making you question your own worth and your own judgment. You have carried the burden of this uncertainty with a quiet, fierce dignity, but you do not have to carry it anymore. The confusion that clouded your judgment is lifting. The longing that kept you tethered to a ghost is finally being answered by a living, breathing reality. You are safe now. You are not foolish for hoping. You are not weak for waiting. Your capacity to love deeply, even in the face of profound uncertainty, is not a flaw. It is your greatest spiritual superpower. As a Scorpio, you possess an innate understanding of the shadows, and you held the frequency of this connection alive when they were too afraid to hold it themselves. You kept the door open not out of desperation, but out of a profound, intuitive knowing that the story was not yet finished. And you were right. Your intuition was never wrong. The exhaustion you feel right now is simply the aftermath of a long, internal battle, and it is perfectly okay to finally lay your armor down. You have earned your peace, and you have earned this resolution. As we bring this reading to a close, I want you to anchor this truth directly into your physical body. Rest your hand gently over the center of your chest. Feel the steady, powerful rhythm of your own heart beating beneath your palm. That rhythm is the drumbeat of your own resilience, a reminder that you survived the waiting and emerged stronger. Allow your breath to slow and deepen, drawing the calming, golden energy of the present moment into your lungs and releasing the lingering tension of the past with every long, deliberate exhale. Close your eyes for just a second and silently repeat this affirmation to your soul. I am worthy of a love that chooses me without hesitation, and I am ready to receive the truth that is coming my way. Sit with this message. Let it settle into your bones and rewrite the narrative of your waiting. The shift has already begun, and the universe is aligning every single detail to bring this resolution to your doorstep. If this reading resonated with the deepest parts of your spirit, I want you to claim this energy right now. Type the words "I receive" in the comments below, sealing this intention into the digital and spiritual ether. Share this video with someone who needs to hear it, or subscribe to Trusted Tarot to ensure you never miss the guidance your soul is actively seeking. The silence is over, Scorpio. Your apology is on its way, and your heart is finally ready to welcome it home.